With the release of new data, the price of silver might swiftly turn around, marking the beginning of a new phase. We'll go over that and go over some of the goals we should have. As we delve into this video, I will cover every detail. By the way, the price of silver is moving in this direction. After it surpassed $41 per ounce, many individuals were extremely bullish. Plus, I'm an optimist. Even though it has now exceeded my original objective, I remain optimistic. However, we must face reality as it is. And that happens every time, without fail. I was really at the forefront of what I mentioned last night, when it first happened, when we began to notice this adjustment. What happens tomorrow, or as you watch this video, what could happen today as compared to what happened yesterday, determines whether this new correction phase is prolonged. Still, this is the speed with which things may shift, and it all comes down to the predictions of the forecasters and the reactions of the markets. Many of these markets are driven by emotions. However, silver is continuing to prolong its decline from the day before. Consistent times for when we first noticed this yesterday, which was about the mid-40s. In fact, while I film this, it becomes clear that silver has pulled back slightly. We haven't quite made it back up above 41 just yet. These days you can get it for $40 plus 74 cents. Every day it loses over half a cent. I'd rather have $48 than $40 plus 74 cents. That's an unconscious error. That would be great to see. However, there was a decline of 1.17%. At its peak, it was $41.26 today. Today, it hit a low of $40.35. Similarly, gold is retracing, but to a lesser extent. The previous high was $3,550.40, so it's still significantly higher. Most of today's drops have been in platinum. Its decline exceeds 3%. Palladium is not working. Rhodium has receded $250, a decrease of 3.5% and almost 2%. Thus, this was a bad day for all metals. Without a doubt, everything is in the red. But if you're looking to buy, now is the time to do it. My pals at Summit Metals tell me that when prices dip like this, it's an excellent moment to buy. You may buy silver from them, and they provide excellent customer service. Also, you can look at their pricing to see if you can make a profit by selling some of your stack. You may find them on their page under the Sell to Us option. If you get in touch with them via email or phone, they will lower their prices if you mention my name, Salivate Metal, Uncle Sal, or Sal, among others. An improved pricing will also be yours. Not many people are aware that you can sell your silver to some of these bullion dealers. People shouldn't sell themselves short. I hope you will see the video I posted this morning because I discussed that same thing. But if you find yourself in that situation, Summit Metals is always ready to help you out and provide you a fair price for your precious metals. Thus, this is what is transpiring. 14 years ago, we witnessed a peak. With significant selling, silver has reached its highest level since September 2011, when it broke through the $41 threshold. And that happened all of a sudden. As of Thursday morning's Asian trading, silver has apparently broken its 5-day winning streak and is trading at $40.75, down more than 1% on the day. From a technical standpoint, the intraday drop could be explained by some profit taking after the recent steep increase that has been going on for the last 2 weeks, coupled with somewhat overbought circumstances as shown on the daily chart. However, dollar bulls are in the driver's seat as the currency jumped beyond the all-time high from last year and continued rising beyond the $40 psychological threshold. As far as we can tell, the US dollar index, which serves as a proxy for market sentiment, is trending upwards. Is something slightly wrong? Between 98% and 0.16%. Below 100, far below 100. And that is how we try to make sense of this situation. Around the $40.40 mark, which is a 23.6 Fibonacci retracement level and the upswing from the August 20th low, decent support should be found for the subsequent decline. From a technical analysis perspective, a $40 mark might be revealed by some follow-through selling and should serve as a critical turning point. It is, in fact. Keeping the price of gold above $40 per ounce is one of our objectives. As a market participant, being able to maintain a price above $40 for an extended period of time is quite remarkable and provides valuable insight into silver's competitiveness in this sector. Before, the amount was $38. That is indeed the situation at the moment. On the other side, we reached a multi-year high around the $41.45 zone on Wednesday, and the dollar may retest that level if it breaks through the $41 round number. We have a long way to go before we reach that point, when you consider it. But you know what? It's really easy to make things right again rather fast. Is there anything that could transpire to make that happen? So, the statistics on employment that are being released. Tomorrow, we will have the employment numbers. If the results are lower than anticipated, for example, if the unemployment rate is greater or the employment rate is lower, the case for a rate cut by the Federal Reserve will be strengthened. At this point in time, it is quite probable that the meeting will take place in September, specifically on September 17th. We can get a sense of where market players think it's happening with the help of the FedWatch tool. Additionally, the likelihood of a quarter-point rate drop is currently higher than it has ever been. Yes, I understand. There is a 97.3% confidence that it will occur, and just 2.7% think it won't happen. There will be a further increase if the employment data is poorer than expected. What they want to accomplish in the upcoming meetings will then be examined. In order to determine what will happen, these next two sessions are going to be pivotal. After following meetings, such as the Fed meeting on October 29th, wherein they now expect to see a further rate cut, and 56.2% anticipate it will be a quarter point higher than where it is currently, I think a lot of the price action is baking in. Put simply, 2 quarter-point reductions in interest rates over the next two meetings. We will go to the next meeting on December 10th after that. We can see that it's narrowly avoiding what most people expect to be yet another rate cut. We will be implementing 3 quarter-point rate cuts before the year's end. We are currently incorporating it. And that bodes favorably for the price of gold and silver. The price of gold is at an all-time high and silver is providing support. So, we'll have to wait and see what those numbers signify, but it's possible that we'll witness a reversal of this trend, with the price either remaining unchanged at its current level in no smackdown, or perhaps rising above $41 once more. Yet making a profit is an inherent aspect of the game. It's important that we think about and account for it in relation to the precious metals markets. Suppression, manipulation, price suppression, or simply profit-taking are all possible explanations. When events unfold in such markets, specifically the ETFs, it has an effect on the silver price. It will mostly be propelled by it. The physical market is, as you may be aware, somewhat peculiar at the moment, where we can discover affordable premiums, quite affordable in fact, not only for constitutional but for all products, and low buyback prices, which is why it pays to search around if you plan to sell. I've said it before, but it's smart to hang on to these. Having a supply on hand can help you weather periods like these, especially when the market is a buyer's market instead of a seller's. Those involved in the sale of silver are currently experiencing significant pain, particularly in the physical form. The going gets rough. The market is challenging. That is why, in a precarious scenario like the one we're in right now, it's wise to take precautions and isolate oneself. I posted a video this morning about selling silver, and I hope you'll view it. Keep an eye on it before selling even a small amount, like a quarter of an ounce. Indeed, that is our reality. There has been a shift. Be quick on your feet when dealing with markets people. Plus, I've been keeping tabs on the markets for quite some time, both those that have an impact on the price and those that are crucial when trading silver. From the original quote about the silver squeeze movement in 2021 through the past several years, I've witnessed a great deal of change. Furthermore, the current situation is the polar opposite of that which transpired previously. As for the glut, that was back then. There is an abundance of silver available in the form of contract-size bars. These days, it's more difficult to come by one. There's a tight spot, a real tight one. However, silver was not easy to come by in those days. They ended up running out of it. They were selling more than ever before. Eagles made of silver and other precious metals, mostly silver. Until you started paying exorbitant rates, it was really difficult to get your hands on. Eagles were not a good investment at the time. Personally, I didn't think anyone should do it. The premiums have returned in part Eagles, but they are still somewhat high. However, you'll need to successfully traverse the marketplace by keeping abreast of trends, current events, and the locations with the highest and lowest premiums. Whenever you make a purchase or sale dependent on the current market pricing, that concludes it. Your market report for the day is here. Watch the $40 silver price. That would suggest that even if we experienced another 1% decline tomorrow, we would still be above $40 per ounce if we can maintain that with a closing above $40 tomorrow. So that's a plus. Assuming we can maintain this level of support and retake 41 or perhaps the mid-40s when the markets reopen on Sunday night, we will have accomplished quite a bit. Assuming that to be true, I believe we are performing admirably. Silver has more than simply a price tag that makes me a positive investor. Please share your opinions with me in the space provided below. I really hope you gained some useful knowledge from watching this video. I'd like to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for watching, and I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe, like, share, and comment.